Hello, I'm back again. So, listen, 2 uploads in one day. This is not normal. I highly doubt I will make it normal. Maybe 2 uploads in a week. I'll do these bonus content pieces as Q&As. But today's one is going to be to do with boxing. So look, part of the reason that I came back, and listen, to prove it, it is 4:27 on July 19th. Yeah? That last episode was recorded. I'm pretty sure I was just in a t-shirt, but I don't remember because one of the few things my memory fails me on is what I and other people wear. There are some exceptions. I remember certain people wearing green, like lime green, at certain events and things like that, like just to prove it. But generally, I don't quite remember what I wear all the time. Which, if some of you have spoken to me in the DMs or followed my Twitter account, you will see that I have a knack for remembering things that most people simply wouldn't. Let me check this. Actually, I'm going to pull this up. So, listen. Part of the reason why I came back is that, I half wanted to come back anyway, right? Because I always enjoyed, yeah, I was in a t-shirt, right? I'll pull this up now. So, I enjoyed talking. I love sports, and I just wanted to talk about them again. But I didn't just want to talk about football. So when I got the encouragement from other people to come back, whether it be some troll comments or saying Unk's retired, or some people just encouraging me in the DMs to come back, all of which I super appreciate, I was thinking, yeah, I'll do it. And at the same time, I'm still going to talk about, I'm going to talk about other sports. It's not just going to be football. So my plans were, I didn't think I'd end up speaking about boxing this soon. I anticipated covering the NFL first. What, with that starting in less than 6 weeks? Because today's the 19th. The NFL season tends to start on the second, I want to say the second Thursday of September. I have that in my mind. I might be wrong. Maybe it's the first. But irrespective, the NFL season was my anticipated cast-off date. Is that the right word? I don't know. But that was the day I anticipated going to other sports. But there are some very big fights tonight. And I wasn't going to record these because when I realized midway through the week that these fights were tonight, I thought I'm not going to have time to record and to edit and get it up, and I really want to get this name episode out. But then, when I had writer's block today, because I had no clue what I was going to talk about, I decided, because I literally there is no reason for me to be more excited about this than I was in the previous episode, because I just finished that after an hour. I took 10 minutes off, 20 minutes away, just to pee and stuff, but that's literally it. It's because there are some wonderful fights tonight, and then when I said I had writer's block earlier, I asked for some suggestions, and someone said, TK, so teacups, but the cups with a K, he said that I should do the boxing stuff, because people will be searching, but then I was thinking, I'm probably not going to get it out. But then I thought, I'll make a bonus episode of just 20, 30 minutes. See? Boom. Brilliant. Ideas. So, first of all, why do I love boxing in the first place? So, boxing is the sport which is my favorite to do, right? I've never played American football. I don't fancy getting hit like that. Football, I played some, but I never played a huge amount. Basketball, I played a lot because I have a court literally 5 minutes that way from my house. And it's great. It's a concrete court. We play there all the time. I have a bunch of guys that I play with since when I was 14, and they were always older. So I always enjoyed playing 3s, 2s. I didn't enjoy the one-on-one aspect game as much just because of the fact that I like the pass and I like team defense and I like coordinating stuff and all that stuff. And we did 4-on-4s, I guess, but the court was a bit cramped for it. We never did 5s outside of when we did full court because now they put fences in there. It's really annoying. But yeah, look, away from this. I want this to be only around 20 minutes, and me waffling on this much really isn't helping my case. This probably might stretch to an hour. No, not an hour. A half hour, considering my past. But listen, so boxing is my favorite sport to do. It's the thing I've done the most. Even now, work the bag, pads, shadow work, sparring regularly. Last week I was sparring, and friend of mine, so I'm 72 kilos, right? If we go in pounds, I'm 160 pounds. I know my exact pound because, well, I'm 159 as of yesterday, so I'm quite light. I'm 5'11". So I'm like 72 and a half, I'm guessing, but I know my exact weight in pounds. So I'm 72 and a half. No, I'm 159 pounds. I'm excited, so I'm bungling things more than often. But I'm 159 pounds. My friend, he told me 82 kilos. And to my knowledge, like just based on how weights work and all that stuff, actually no, screw it, I'll just punch it in here. He's 82 kilos. He's 180 pounds. He weighs a stone and a half more than me, and he's not fat. He is tall, he is lean, he is ripped. So I spar him, and the other guy I spar sometimes weighs 100 kilos. So 220 pounds. So I am ceding 60 pounds. Normally those are the weight classes. Sometimes it's like 90 kilos, so that's about 200, 210 maybe. I don't know exactly. No, so yeah, 90 kilos, 220. Yeah, so about 200 just on the nose. Yeah, I spar people who are heavier than me by a lot. Like even guys who are about my height and look about my build, they tend to be at least like 10 pounds heavier than me. So it makes my life hurt, and it hurts a lot, but it's good fun. So I love it. So the problem is that the sport just isn't as good anymore. The volume of high-level fights just doesn't happen. Now, shout out Turkey. He is making these big fights happen with far greater regularity, right? Canelo Crawford would never have happened had it not been for his stepping. Fury Usyk, I don't think it ever happens if it's not for him stepping in. A bunch of these other fights, right? Those are just two most prominent examples, right? A bunch of these huge fights do not better be a Bivol. That is one of my favorite fights, especially the first one. Absolute high level dueling of the absolute highest level of dueling that you will see. It's that modern day sword fighting. That's what I made it equivalent to. I made a tweet on it. It's like modern day sword or DMs and someone I don't remember. It might have been DMs actually. Boxing's like modern day sword fighting, except you've got rid of the weapons, and the weapons are now these, right? It's beautiful. So I love it, but because of the dangers involved that come with sword fighting, and the same thing comes with punching instead of head all the time, it just doesn't happen. Jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts is significantly safer because of the takedowns, and when you get knocked down, one punch to the face and the ref jumps in so you don't get brain damage. Boxing, you get punched in the face, you're going down. If you get up inside of 10 seconds, regardless of how groggy you are, if you don't spit your mouthpiece out, shout out Lucas Matisse against Pacquiao in 2018, the ref will let you go back out there and get beat up again. Like in sword fighting, if you don't put the sword down, you're just going to keep fighting until the guy kills you. So you could lose an arm, it doesn't matter. Just keep fighting. Samurais, man. Bushido and all that stuff. Yeah, I love martial arts, weapons, swords, all of it. Like, I've got a staff upstairs and I've got some nunchucks upstairs. The staff is obviously just pure wood. The nunchucks are foam. Like, I love it, right? It's brilliant stuff. But yeah, boxing, the big fights just don't happen as much anymore, right? So that's why when Crawford Spence happened, that was such a huge event in terms of like people who like boxing. That's the purest fight. When Golovkin Canelo happened, that was like a year and a half too late, 2.5 years too late maybe. No, it was it was a year and a half too late because it was 2017, the first one, and it was meant to happen a year in advance before Golovkin showed any signs of slippage. So, yeah, listen, in future episodes, I spent 9 minutes on a preamble, but in future episodes, I will be doing full-length ones, right? These bonus ones won't be focused on boxing quite as much, but yeah, just for this one, because I haven't recorded one and it's a big night with Usyk and Pacquiao both fighting, I wanted to cover both. If Usyk was fighting some bum, I probably wouldn't. But obviously Dubois, he's a champion and he's fought Usyk before, so there's a bunch of history here. So, yeah, like say Crawford Canelo, I'm going to do a full episode on. Like that won't just be like a short form one. So, Usyk and Dubois, round 2. Well, fight 2, I guess. So, listen, right? This was an event. August 23 was the first one. This was shocking in terms of like how it played out during the fight. Not because of how it formulated, and not even the result of it, but just you had to watch it, right? So I remember watching that. I don't remember my exact scorecards, and I didn't write it anywhere. I had Usyk up 6-2 or 7-1 at the time of the knockout. But the problem was is that in round 5, he got hit with a shot that was right... do I want to get up? No, I don't. But let's say, well, I'll use... No, forget that, right? Let's just... You all know where your belly button is, obviously. So, the Usyk's belt was high. It was like right... Oh, yeah, if I bend my back... I don't know. Like, yeah, we'll go... Nah, screw it. So, Usyk's belly button was... Yeah, Usyk's belly button was hit by Dubois with a right hand, I'm pretty sure it was. So he hit him. And Usyk says it's low. He goes down. The ref agrees it's low. And that ref, I've never particularly liked that ref. He was always super, I didn't like. He was always too quick to jump in. He never lets guys fight on the inside. He never lets the clinch develop. I never particularly enjoyed watching him referee fights. But, he stopped it and he said, listen, low, Usyk, take a few minutes, walk around, blah, 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 and then we'll restart. So, Dubois still won that round because, knocks the guy down, right? Standard. So, the rest of the way, so it was a boxing lesson, but again, you have that moment. It's a flashpoint. I thought it was on the line. I thought you could get away with it. I thought it's a world title fight. Don't let it go on a technicality. Let them scrap, basically. That's how I wanted it. That was round 5. I ultimately... did I argue that much with it? No, but I was slightly upset that they didn't just let the fight go out. But then at the same time, then we don't get Usyk Fury. Because Daniel Dubois is fighting Fury, and Fury would beat the brakes off Dubois. So, it worked out better for the sport in the end. And the better boxer, I guess, on the whole, won. It was better for the sport. So, I thought it was fair. But, Usyk made him... The rest of the way, Usyk just made him quit. The punch variance, the angles, the speed of footwork, the way that he can move, the angles that he gets on his punches, not even in terms of the angles that he takes up. He is one of the most mechanically beautiful boxers. He is for those of you... So, I'm not sure how many of you watch boxing. I don't actually expect this to get that many views, by the way. But, so, there's a guy named Lomachenko, and he fights in the lower weight classes, right? Well, he fought. He retired only a couple of weeks ago. He fought, 118, 22, 26, 130. He fought in a bunch of lower weight classes. I don't remember how high he went up. Did he go up? Because I can't remember what division his fight was. Because I'm pretty sure. Let me check this. Because when he fought, because his last fight, which some people thought he might have been robbed in, against Haney for the lightweight. Yeah, so that was lightweight. So that was 135. I thought it was 135. So yeah, he won. Yeah, he won titles. So he won 130. Yeah, 135. And then he won at... So yeah, get this. So what? 135, 130, straight off the bat, right? So 130, 135. He beat up one of my favorite... So one of my favorite fighters is Rigondeaux, or Rigondeaux, however you pronounce his name. So 130, so junior lightweight. Super lightweight, 140. So he won titles at 130, 135, right? That's really good, right? Those are two weight classes. You go up. That's tough. So I'm waffling a bit here. So go watch Vasily Lomachenko, basically, and then watch Usyk. He's moving like Lomachenko at 6'3", and he weighs an extra 100 pounds or 90 pounds. That's insane. Usyk's a ballerina. He's one of the best fighters that we've seen. His punch variance, the way that he sets up his shots, his IQ, the way that he reads your information, the way he makes things awkward for you. His intensity, his volume, he is different. He is so good. And he made Dubois quit. He made Fury look like a fool for large parts. Fury only lost the second fight 7-5. No, that first fight 7-5. The second fight, I had 8-4. Fairly comfortable. And at best in the first fight, I could only see 6-6 for Fury. And even then, Usyk wins because he knocked him down. So, either way, Usyk just beat him. Right? He made Dubois quit. He is a special fighter. So, I don't give Dubois much hope. I don't. The weight isn't a huge issue because, Usyk's beaten guys. Because, the weight you'd think, right? Dubois weighs 245, 244. Usyk weighs 227, I think it was he weighed in yesterday. So a gap of a stone and change. Usyk beat up Fury. And Fury was 50 pounds heavier. So, for me, it's just And even in the first fight, I'm pretty sure that Usyk was 220 and Dubois was 233. So Dubois put on more weight and he's more aggressive now and he's bigger and he's stronger and he's less cautious. As we saw in the fight against AJ, he went out guns blazing. How much of that was, I don't rate Joshua, and how much of that was Usyk just makes him bad, and how much of that was Dubois just so much better now? We'll have to see. I think we'll see the product of that tonight. But I think a lot of it was Joshua's rubbish. I never rated him, ever, I'm proud to say. I always thought he'd lose to Fury. I always thought he'd lose to Wilder. I always thought that he was an overrated product of something which he was quite fortunate to be in. He's actually quite lucky that he caught Usyk quite early into the heavyweight reign. If Usyk fought him a little bit later, Usyk would have stopped him and made him look stupid. And Joshua had a crash out in the ring. And in terms of the second one, go check that out on YouTube. He wouldn't have even had the opportunity to do that because he'd been knocked out in the first fight if he was a bit heavier. So, listen, right? How do I see this happening? So, his only route is an early knockout. I think between 1 to 5, maybe. If it gets past round 6, I don't see it happening. He needs to come out. He needs to throw caution to the wind. Usyk, I don't think can knock out. I don't think he'll be able to knock him out this time. Because of the fact that even last time Dubois quit, right? Usyk didn't put him down with a corkscrew left hand to the jaw, with a right hand, with a bunch of combinations, you know, downstairs, upstairs, uppercuts, all this. He wasn't setting up punches like that. Dubois quit, which is ultimately what happened. He easily could have gotten up. He was not physically dazed or completely shot. He said he was robbed after. If he, let's say for the sake of argument he gave up any leeway he had with that when he quit. And that's the second time he quit, because he quit against Joyce as well. He could have gotten up in that fight too. So, I don't think Usyk can stop him. I don't think Usyk can knock him out. Unless Dubois quits again, which I don't see happening. He's a champ now. I would really hope that that's gone. So, I don't see that happening. In terms of like a convincing one, I think my prediction is that he will stop him, but it's one from accumulation of punches as opposed to him making him quit this time. I don't think he can stop him early, specifically. So if Dubois comes out, works behind his jab, works him to the body, because Usyk doesn't like getting hit with the body, and he comes out and he hits him with those looping shots and some of those tighter ones that are tight in the middle, corkscrews him. What he ends up doing there is he makes Usyk a bit more cautious. Maybe Usyk doesn't look to pile up the points till later, and he's a bit more rattled. And as a result, that leaves the ring open for Dubois to go after him, to pin him down, to put him against the ropes, and he can get off a bunch of shots and he can tee off. If he can do that early specifically, then he is in a really good chance and has a really good shot of pulling off this massive upset. I don't know what the odds are. I'm assuming that Dubois is like a 3-1 underdog, at least. No, I don't. Hold on, I'll just check it now. No, I don't want the app, you scoundrel. I'll just check Dubois. So, I'm getting this up now just because I always like to look at odds before fights. Yeah, so he's 16-5 on Odds Checker, and those are the best ones you can get. So he's about 3-1, and Usyk's 3-1 favorite. So my expectation is obviously for Usyk to beat him, but if he gets up to the body early, if he manages to slow him down, if he pounds him upstairs, works the body, head, he needs to put a lot of real estate into the body work because Usyk has a fantastic gas tank. If you don't do that, I don't see a way for him to win. And if he doesn't work the body, I don't see a way for him to knock him out with the work upstairs as well. Because Usyk will take the licks to the body. Usyk obviously isn't going to leave the shots to the head easily. Usyk has a bit of a soft midsection and he still doesn't protect it that well, which is, slightly alarming. But Dubois, he comes in, if he works the body really, really well, which I imagine that his game plan will be to do that, considering the success Joshua and himself had on it. Fury doesn't have the power to work the body to Usyk, and a lot of his are arm punches. He's not twisting, he's not talking, he's not rotating, he's not pivoting into I'm already at 20 minutes, I'm sorry. Continue listening. So I don't see I don't see Dubois not implementing into his game plan, but at the same time, I think that Usyk's movement and the extra weight will allow him to sort of offset that to a degree. So I think he'll be okay. But yeah, so that's the only chance I really give him. If that doesn't happen, and it gets past round 6 or 7, which I think it will, because Usyk by round 3, 4 tends to figure guys out. Round 5, he'll probably begin putting his shots off. Dubois might still steal the round because of the power in the heavy hands and getting around the ring. he can do that fine. After round 7, Usyk's downloaded the software. You're not doing anything with him. He's going to start. He's going to get into the positions which naturally protect himself against getting knocked out. He works the punching angles. He's going to be at awkward angles for Dubois to hit, like around here, like on the side of the shoulder, so almost like a 45-degree angle coming upstairs. He'll come with the left to the midsection. He'll pivot around. He'll end up having his right foot crossed over. He can pin him to the body, left uppercut. He's got beautiful variance in his angles. Right up, he'll hit him sometimes with the right shot, which is super hard to do as a southpaw, especially like even if you are coming forward because of the angle at which you're coming forward. Like he is a ridiculously talented fighter. I think by round, like, I just moved. That was an accident. So round like 10, 11, I think that on an accumulation he can stop him. Otherwise, it will just be like a 9-3, 10-2 decision. But I think by like round 10, 11, accumulation of punches adds up. Just all the punishment. Because Usyk packs a pop to him as well. They're stinging. They're ones that hurt you. He's not concussive, but enough of them. If you're dazed, if you're wary, if you're wobbly, the ref steps in, TKO. So yeah, I'm going to go round 11, TKO. I'll go Usyk. Now, don't put your money on that. I'm very bad at calling these, right? When I say decision, it tends to go decision, but yeah, I don't see it. So I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I wouldn't advise you to take my gambling advice for this fight. So I'll try my this last. Now, Pacquiao. So listen, Pacquiao is one of my favorite fighters. So look, I don't know why he's coming back. It's been 4 years since he lost. You know, I mean, it was competitive, right? But he lost to Ugas, and you know the calls were essentially like, just end it now, please. You're 42, just finish. And you know, before that, he hadn't fought for 2 years, and he beat Keith Thurman. He did really well in that fight. I'm pretty sure he knocked down Thurman. And ultimately, it was a really promising show. And the rumors really kicked up that he was going to rematch Mayweather. I've never believed that's going to happen. Just like it was never going to happen. And even the rumors this week of it going to happen, they're just not going to happen. So yeah, it is what it is in terms of that. But yeah, we'll have to see. But away from that, in terms of the actual fight this weekend. So look, Barrios. So he's tall, right? He's 6 foot tall. Pacquiao's like 5'6". He's got a decent jab. He lacks power in his right hand. He's not got concussive knockout power. And, I mean, it's a welterweight bout, to be clear. It's one. I think they're both weighed in at 146. Maybe Barrios made it 147, but either way, right? He's tall. He's very tall for 147, actually. And I'll go into why that can actually work against him a little later. So, he's got a real height advantage. His arms aren't as long for a normal 140, for a normal 6-footer. So his arms are only 70 inches. Pacquiao's is 66, I think it is. But Pacquiao was never a huge jab anyway. Pacquiao's jab was almost just like he got it in there to get inside, and he could work on you from there. So he's got a good jab. He's got decent 1-2, and you know he doesn't like to. Lost my train of thought. So. Yeah, he's got a decent jab. He works the body okay to a decent one. He's got a good gas tank. He's had quite a few 12-rounders because you have to have that when you don't have much concussive knockout power. So when you end up having that and you don't have a great defense, like he does not, right? He's someone who is very liable to pressure fighters. If you back him down with a couple of shots and you put him on the back foot, he struggles a lot. He's someone who doesn't particularly have great lateral movement either, and his head is a bit stiff. So, you know, he's not the best fighter. He's actually someone who's quite a favourable matchup for Pac-Man to come back to. So it's not the worst thing in the world. He also leaves himself open to counters like Keith Thurman, Gervonta Davis knocked him out. So, you know, he's not perfect, but, you know, he is a champion, and this is for a belt. So, you know, he's not a walkover. Overall, you know, his defense isn't very good. He struggles with angles, and he struggles with punch volume. And he just generally is very, very tall for 147. So the thing is, when you're tall for 147, especially when the opponent is shorter than you by about 6 inches. Well, 6 inches? I don't know. It means that the guy can get inside on you quicker because he can almost duck under your punches. So, and Pacquiao was never a big ducker under your punches, and he wasn't someone who'd hide underneath his guard and look to dive underneath the punches and bamboozle you like that. What he'd normally end up doing is, you know, he'd work his way inside, he'd power your head movement, and then he'd get to you, and then you work he'd work some sort of dodgy, awkward angle, that 45-degree one especially, and he'd get off flurry of punches 3, 4, 5, and gets out super, super quick. And he bounces around. He's always bouncing on the balls of his feet. He's a super entertaining watch. I suggest to any of you, watch Cotto, watch his De La Hoya fight, watch anything before, you know, watch his Ricky Hatton fight. That's one of the most brutal knockouts you'll ever see. That is super, super fun if you've not. But then he can also go 12 rounds. He can box with you. You know, he beat the brakes off Tim Bradley. He beat him both times. No, beat him. Did they fight? I'm sure they fought a third time. All 3 times he beat him. The first one, it was a disgusting robbery. He just, in general, is a beautiful fighter. Like, he is so much fun. And even Keith Thurman, right? Pacquiao was 39. Thurman, peak of his powers, undefeated. He hadn't lost to anyone. And Pacquiao just beat him. And he beat him well, too. And he knocked him down. He did really, really well. So that's actually a common opponent these two guys have. I'm pretty sure that's the only one. I'd be stunned if there was any more. But, yeah. So the difficult thing is that Pacquiao is just 46. Right, and like the speed is still there, although to a lesser degree. His understanding of where to be is there, but his reflexes slowed, and you know his punch volume isn't there, and his engine isn't there, and he lacks power. Like he's knocked out one person since 2009. So he knocked out Cotto in round 12 in 2009, and he didn't knock out anyone until 2018 against Lucas Matisse, and then he didn't knock anyone out since then. Right? He just stopped knocking people out. I don't know what it was. Some people say it was steroids. Some people say he just lost his touch and he lost his killer instinct. Whatever it was, he just stopped being able to. He just stopped knocking people out. So his power has clearly taken a ding. The problem is that if this was Pac saying his peak, say 2010, he beats the brakes off Barrios. He gets inside. He beats him inside 3 or 4 rounds, and that's just a nice, easy payday for him. So he cleans him up nice and easy. His speed, his angles, the punch volume, his left hand, his right hooks, you know, even the way he works inside off the jab. He wasn't actually a big body puncher, which is quite surprising for a guy like him. He would just blazing you upstairs. He was blazing speed, blazing feet, blazing angles. He was fantastic. He's one of the most enjoyable fighters that you will ever see. Please just go and watch him. It would just be too much. Defensively, he relied on his head movement, his feints, so he'd almost make you scared to throw. Like I say, even if we look at Mayweather in the 2015 fight, Pacquiao was on one shoulder. He was on a difficult pattern. Like he couldn't really do much of anything because of that bum shoulder. I think he tore it in round 2, maybe round 3. Mayweather was still worried. He was worried. He was petrified. He wasn't throwing with the same regularity and velocity that he normally would, and you could clearly see it when he had Pacquiao bang down because he was worried about catching one of those shots on the inside. Because say there was a spot in like round 9, 10 where it looked like he could finish off Pacquiao, but he was too worried about going inside and getting cold cocked. So then obviously his reflexes were there too, but his reflexes are gone too. No, his reflexes were there and they're gone too. So you know he's just not the same defender that he once was because he was actually quite hard to hit. Like I know Marquez timed him, but after 4 fights and you fight the guy 4 times and you know his angles and you know he's going to fight, you think eventually you will cold cock him, and he did. And that's knockout of the year, right? Go watch that as well. Watch Juan Manuel Marquez knock out Manny Pacquiao. The commentary from Lampley and Jones is absolutely immense. That is one of my favorite knockouts, especially with the aura and the arena surrounding it. It's fantastic. So in terms of how I see this playing out, so this is going to stretch over half an hour. I'm sorry. I thought it would be shorter. So I think the early rounds will be in and out. He'll be blazing speed, pop, 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 works the angles. Barrios is a slow starter anyway. He looks to feel out the opponent, and he sort of can because of how long his jab is, especially how long and tall he is. So I think he'll be in and out, working the angles, straight lefts. I think he'll look to work his body shots in as well to try and take away the height advantage and take away the gas tank of Barrios. I think that's what he ends up doing. What else did I write in this? So I think he'll take the flurries and he'll look to work it in. Then I think later, I think he gasses out just because of his age. I think Barrios gets him on the end of his jab. He works his range. Then I think from there, Pacquiao will slow down. his body works okay, but I don't think you really want to. I don't think you really want to suffocate yourself and crumple yourself against a guy who's that much shorter than you and will have the advantage in these short range exchanges because the shorter guys can work more leverage. So I think you should keep on the end of his jab. I don't think that Barrios can knock Pacquiao out. Yeah, because I don't pronounce the T. So Pacquiao out. I don't think he can stop him. I don't think he will. I think he'll also be still wary of the power and the shots because Pacquiao's shots will still sting him. The left hand, the right, his left, his right, the way he integrates them together. Because he can still get his straights off against... He can get his straights off against Barrios because he won't be crumpling himself. He will be in a very good space to get those straights off and work off those 1, 2, 3 ranges. But as in 1, 2, 3. So as in the straight right, the straight jabs, and work off those 3, 4, 5 punch combinations. I think he'll be in a very good state to do that. So we'll have to see. Am I gonna? I don't even really believe this. I'll be honest with you, I don't. This is completely this over this. So I don't think he can do it. But I'm just gonna say, Pacquiao will knock him out. Yeah, I don't know how. They'll find a way. I don't really think he's going to do it, but I'm hoping against, logically, Barrios should decision him, right? Just on a pure logical basis, Barrios should do what Ugas did to him, and Pacquiao should not get his first knockout in 7 years. He just shouldn't, right? All laws of sports, but they dictate that he should decision Pacquiao. I don't think he'll stop him. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's got the pop in his hands. Pacquiao was fighting at 147 for 15 years. Well, 12 years if we take from the De La Hoya fight. Maybe he did a little bit before, but I don't quite recall. But he's been fighting at 147 for a long time. He's now at a point where he's comfortable in that 147 body, even though he probably only walks around at 155 max. I don't see Barrios stopping him. And... he should decision him. But listen, if George Foreman can come back after 10 years, have a bunch of rubber fights, have a bunch of dead weights fights, and knock out world champion Michael Moorer, and have Jim Lampley just say it happened, and say George Foreman becomes the heavyweight champion of the world after being out for so long after his defeat against Ali in the jungle, I think it was Zaire, where everyone was saying, Ali, kill him, Ali, Bomaye. Manny Pacquiao can knock out Mario Barrios. Yeah, he's going to do it. Round 5, let's say. Definitely don't gamble on this. For the love of God, please don't, right? I will not be held responsible for anything. Even I don't fully believe this. Logically, Barrios should do him, but screw it, let's go with it. My prediction on record, let's go. Manny Pacquiao knocks him out in round 5. If he does, I will be ecstatic. Yeah, this will be great. I don't know if I'll be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I probably will, I'll be honest. Just to see how it all goes down. But Jesus Christ, I would love it. If he pulls it off, I will be stunned and I will be in awe. It will be the biggest stunner that we have seen, probably since Foreman, just because of pure age. I would love to see it. I cannot... Yeah. Manny, pull it off. It'll be bloody brilliant. Right, listen. That's the end of this boxing one. So, yeah. The next video you see will be the team construction one. This won't be as high energy as this one because even though I recorded it an hour and a half before, boxing's just fun to talk about. The next boxing video I imagine I talk about will be Crawford-Canelo. That will probably be a long form episode one. We'll have to see though. But yeah, I can't wait. Come on, so go on record, final picks. Usyk in round, I'll say 11. I'll say Usyk round 11, accumulation of punches stops Daniel Dubois. And Pacquiao will knock him out in round 5. Let's go, Manny. Yeah, do I believe this? Again, I don't know, but I'm just going to say it. Pacquiao will knock him out in round 5. Usyk stops Dubois around 11. I'll see you all in the next video. Like, rate, subscribe, it helps a ton, and I will see you all again soon. Bye-bye.